Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Dead for a Dollar, a new Western, R-rated Western, directed by Walter Hill, starring Christopher Waltz and William Dafoe. There's a lot of people in this movie. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 9 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget Kindle. Unlimited is free. You can read my books for free, and I still get paid. All right. So William Dafoe is an outlaw. Christopher Waltz is of course, German bounty hunter. And they're in the Wild West. And there's lots of stuff going on in this movie. I mean, there's just like a ton of stories. So besides Waltz is the guy who captures Dafoe, but then Dafoe is let out of jail. I guess he served his time. There's also a marriage between a man and a woman where the wife runs off with a black guy who I'm not sure if he's a gunfighter or not, but he seems to be pretty handy with a shooting iron. And then Waltz is hired to bring her back, but of course the husband, it's more complicated than that. The husband is set to kill her. I'm going to guess for like an inheritance or something like that, to get her land or whatever. And then William Dafoe is just evil. It's directed by Walter Hill. I believe it's directed by him. Yeah, I think so. I just looked him up on the IMDb. I didn't check to see what his credit was. It looks good. Also, the guy, Benjamin Bratt. I couldn't think of his name. And this is Rachel Bronsonhan. Don't know her. William Burke. That's him. And Benjamin Bratt. So you got a lot of good actors in this thing. Benjamin Bratt's pretty good. He's playing a Mexican guy, which he's doing the accent and everything, which I kind of like. I kind of like to see him do that. It seems natural. Seems very natural. Walter Hill. All right. I think he's the director, right? Screenplay by Walter Hill. Directed by Walter Hill. Story by Matt Harris and Walter Hill. I'm going to assume Matt Harris is one of the producers, maybe? No, but the first EP is Christopher Waltz himself. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 EPs. And 1, 2, 3 producers, produced by 3 other people. So weird. Hollywood credits are so weird. It's such a battle. People don't know what a battle those credits are sometimes. This looks fan-friggin-tastic. I mean, it's got quite a cast. It seems to have tons of shootouts. I mean, like, tons. They're showing clips of, like, 18 different shootouts in this thing. People pointing guns at each other threateningly. Oh boy, this looks like fantastic Western. I think Christopher Waltz is the protagonist in this, though. So I think, if I had to guess, this is going to be pretty complicated. Keep in mind, Walter Hill directed 48 Hours, bunch of other movies you probably heard of. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's got big names. So I'm going to guess the premise is it starts in the first act with William Dafoe and Christopher Waltz. Christopher Waltz is, he knows that William Dafoe is getting out of jail, and he basically tells him, I don't want to see you again, and he says, same to you, because Dafoe apparently is determined to see Waltz dead, but maybe he won't go directly after him. And then that's sort of the intro in the first act, and then the problem, of course, is this guy wants his wife back. She ran off. He tells Waltz she was kidnapped, probably hoping he'd kill the black guy. I forget his name already. Who I guess is her boyfriend. I'm not sure. They don't really make that clear. Maybe she just hired him to get at. Maybe they're just friends. So then Waltz agrees to take it for $2,000, a lot of money in that time. So he tracks them down, and he's going to wait until her husband shows up. That's probably the end of the first act, right? He's going to wait. And then complications happen. I'm not sure what. Possibly that Waltz realizes that the guy who hired him is not a good guy. Maybe that he's breaking the law, or maybe it's a double reversal. Maybe at first it's presented that way, and Waltz kind of hesitates, but he's sort of going along with the program, kind of wait and see sort of approach, and then somehow things get more complicated. I love Dead for a Dollar. What a name. What a great name for a Western there. Dead for a Dollar. But anyhow, obviously it's way more complicated. And then probably a couple of shootouts. Maybe Waltz is driven away, or maybe he joins the woman and the black guy in saving her from this dude. And it becomes, sort of people on one side, people on the other. At some point, they run into Benjamin Bratt, I'm guessing in the second act, and he's got some tough words to say. But then in the third act, it's going to be William Dafoe gets brought in to be the big gun against Christopher Waltz, and then it's just like a big gunfight at the end, and who survives. Beyond that, it's kind of hard to say. There's a lot of characters here, a lot going on, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I like the sepia tone kind of thing they got going on. It's everything's sort of washed out. It's not in black and white, but it's like in muted color, I'll say. And it gives it kind of an Old West feel, doesn't it? I guess that Benjamin Bratt goes up against Dafoe at one point. Maybe he's the character's kind of in the middle. Some great lines in it. This one, Dafoe says something like, "You see this hand? You put a gun in it, and it's the devil's right hand." It's a pretty good line, right? Dafoe is always great. He looks perfect for a movie like this. Doesn't he look like a grizzled old Western guy who went a few times without any meals? I mean, I think that's an important look, So many actors today, they look a little too well fed for playing characters in the Wild West or medieval times. But never Dafoe. Dafoe always looks malnourished. And that look has gotten him a lot of work. Now, it's okay for her to look pretty well settled, I'll say. She doesn't look like she's starving. She doesn't look, I'm not saying she's fat. I'm just saying she doesn't look like she's starving. It's okay for a character like hers to look kind of soft. But not the other guys. The other guys got to look grizzled. Christopher Waltz, he's not as grizzled, but he's pretty grizzled. Obviously, they let him grow his beard out a little bit and make him look scruffy. That's what I try to do at my signings now, so I look more like a hunter. He looks all right. He's maybe a little heavy for being a Wild West dude. But yeah, I'm all in on this. This looks fantastic. One woman's journey. Doesn't feel like it's about her. Feels like it's more about Waltz. I think Dafoe and Waltz are being showcased. I'm getting the impression Dafoe is in a good portion of the movie, but let's see what the credits say. So Christopher Waltz, obviously William Dafoe. Okay, he's second billing here, so he's probably throughout most of the movie. Rachel Brunson and Warren Burke and Benjamin Bratt. So fair, they're going to get about equal screen time. I'm gonna suggest probably most of it going to Christoph Waltz. Yeah, and I like the music. It's classic, that kind of stuff. So I think it could work. I mean, they've been making a lot of good westerns of late. I think. I was just talking about Old Henry the other day. Friggin' classic if you haven't seen it. Just came out like last year. This could be in that league. Could be. I definitely want to see it. I mean, Walter Hill. All right, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. You gotta go to Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. You're only getting well, the other videos, but mainly 2 videos here, and definitely 2 other videos, completely different videos on the other platforms. You gotta get on the other platforms because God knows how long before YouTube just pulls the plug on me. And we'll see you in the next one.